is good, everybody? We are back with another exclusive episode of Teasy's Table here. I am once again Teasy. If you guys have been watching every other Monday, I drop exclusive podcast episodes where I link up with some of my favorite people in our respective industries, business owners. You never know who I'm bringing here on Teasy's Table for you guys to watch. Make sure you guys once again go to youtube.com/City Podcast to subscribe and pay attention to everything that we have going on. Who I have on here is one of my favorite musicians I grew up listening to. I have been a fan of this guy since, man, I first heard of the music in 2011, him and his fellow brother Fonte, and I've been a fan ever since. This guy has one of the most amazing catalogs, group, solo. His has eye for talent, finding talent right now, which we'll get into. Amazing. One of my favorite guys in the music industry. Rapper Big Pooh, what is good with you, my brother?
What's good, man? Thank you for having me.
Bless, King. Everything is good, man. First of all, man, how's everybody? How's the family? How's everything going with you? Healthy? Everything good?
Yeah, we good, man. Just ducking Corona. You know what I mean? Like that been an everyday occurrence since March 2020. But we good, man. We can't complain on the right side of the dirt. That's all that matters.
Amen, man. Anytime you wake up and you're on the right side of the fence, man, that's another victory, another day to make something positive happen, man. So that's always
absolutely
a great thing, and I'm glad to hear that, man. First, man, let's get into the updates, man. What has been going on in the music world, man? Tell us a little bit about what's been going on with the music stuff. Before we get into other stuff, let's get the music stuff in. What has been going on with you in the music world? Group project, solo project? What have you been working on?
Man, I just been, I didn't really do a lot of music since we recorded or finished recording Made a Little Watch, the Little Brother album that came out 2019.
Man, go get that.
Yeah, please go get that. I hadn't really been doing a lot of music, but toward the end of last year, I started writing again, and then I decided I was going through my hard drive one day trying to put some DJ crates together out of all things, and I just started going through a whole bunch of unreleased songs that I had, and so I decided the ones that were most ready to go, most that were complete, ish. I decided to release them. Some of the joints people may have heard through my SoundCloud or whatever, but they were none of these songs were officially released or put up. So I did my first one, What Was Lost, Volume 1, all tracks produced by Young RJ from Slum Village. We had started working on an album back in 08, 09, I think it was. We were working on the project, but he ended up getting called in to do Slum Village, and I had to go do my, little brother thing. And so we never completed it. So a couple of the tracks that we had worked on ended up on the Slum Village Villa Manifesto album. And then, the other ones, they were just scattered around. So I wanted to give, people a glimpse of what that was going to be. And then the second one, What Was Lost, Volume 2, I released. So the first one I released on February 12th. And then the second one I released March 5th, I believe it was. What Was Lost, Volume 2. And that was just more tracks left on the cutting room floor. I had a track with DJ Khalil on there. I had a track with my man Swift D. I had a track with Focus, frequent collaborator. A track with my guy Garcia from Family Biz. And then a track from the Justice League that we had did back in 2015, I believe. So, it was just unload music, man. Just getting kind of revving myself up and getting geared up for what I have coming next, and working. I got something coming hopefully real soon. So just working, trying to one step in front of the other.
Amen, man. First of all, congratulations on all you've done. You know what I mean? From your past catalog, solo, group, just everything that you guys have done. You guys, for me, as a recording artist myself, I've been like, I started listening to you and Fonte at a very, very pivotal point in my life. I was 22 years old. I'm 33 now. So I got onto you guys a little bit later. So when I started, when my homie gave me the minstrel show, I was like, what is this? And then he's like, yo, this is Little Brother. You ever heard of Little Brother? I was like, no, man. I was like, no, because, I was surprised I had it. I was into my Nas, I was into my J, and as much underground hip hop as I listened to, listening to you guys, guys, and then I heard I was just blown away. So I started at the middle store and went back. So listening to the catalog and seeing how sharp you guys are now when Middle Lord Watch came out, see how you guys came back together and seeing what you're doing now with your projects now, it's like, tell me a little bit about staying sharp because I know it's tough, man. Everybody's writing process is different. Some people can just get away from music for 3 months, not do nothing, and the ideas come. Some people gotta write I don't know how these rappers be writing a verse a day. I can't do that. My memory is shot, dude. I can't do it. But tell me a little bit about your writing process and what inspires you when it's time to work on your new projects.
Well, my process is, I mean, it varies, but I can pretty much say I'm working on something every day, whether it's mentally or actually physically working on it. Like ideas are always running. I'll jot down a line or two, or I'll jot down an idea or title, anything, that may hit me at any various time. But now is different from when I was younger. When I was younger, I was relentless. I was in the booth. I was efficient, but I was relentless. I was in the studio every day if I could be, just putting down something. Now I'm more measured in my approach where I definitely have to be inspired. I have to be moved, or I have to have a deadline of some sort for me to really, focus in. Because it's just now I think it's more just a lack of focus. Being home, I'm working out the house for the most part, as you can see behind me, working out the house, at this present moment, and due to the quarantine, and then so you have your normal distractions from being in the house, but then the other things I have going on, the management stuff, the family stuff, the other ventures that I'm into. So all those end up taking my time during the day, and by the time I get me time, it's either I'm with it or I'm mentally drained and I just want to put something on and not think about working. So like I said, it's different now, but still always working on being better. I tell a lot of the young guys I talk to, the objective is to always be better than the last time somebody heard you. So, the next project I put out or the next verse you hear from me, it's going to be sharper than the previous one. So, on Made a Little Watch, a lot of people were kind of surprised by, my development. And I was like, obviously I was, I appreciated the compliment, but I also was like, y'all haven't been paying attention.
Look, I've been nice, bro. Like, you know what I
mean? There's been a storm brewing for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
So, but like I said, I still, it was a compliment. I appreciated, the props I was getting for my writing on the project. But that's just something I do. I take my craft seriously, even to this day. I'm still trying to, competing with myself to a degree.
Yeah.
That's my main competition, is the man in the mirror, or the man I was yesterday, not the man, not anybody else. So yeah, like I said, my process just differs, man. Like, I don't went months and haven't done anything, like actually wrote a verse or a song, anything, and then I can jump right in the saddle. Like I was just writing the past 3 months straight, every day. It doesn't matter. I've gotten to that point where it's a reflex. You know what I'm saying? It's muscle memory. So yeah, so that's me, man. Like I said, I know, Fonte, on the other hand, he works on music religiously. I mean, like, he's probably working on something right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just different. I have gaps. We almost switched. It was like, I used to be the one who worked on music every day, and he was very measured in his approach. Now it's switched where he's probably working on something every day, and I'm a lot more measured in my approach, which is it's pretty funny to see.
That's what's up, man. And you're always writing. You always end up writing to do better. And it's like artists said, I feel like I still haven't written my best verse yet. You know what I mean? Because there's always improving, and you're always trying to improve. You listen to your older stuff. You know what? I'm way better than I was back then. But everybody You know, it's funny because I remember I listening to something 50 Cent said. He's like, everybody's favorite songs is the verses that I can't stand. You know what I mean? That I
Right.
wrote. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a process, man. And you spoke about management, man. One of my favorite artists out is actually Luke. And it's funny how this works because when I heard Juggin, I was like, yo, this is fire. So I first heard Juggin from him, and that's when I became a fan of him. And I was like, oh, that's he. Oh, I was like, weren't he with Cole? Then when I find out you're managing him, I'm like, this all makes sense why I like him. You know what I mean? It all added up in the big pot. So tell me a little bit about the side of you being an artist yourself, having your own creative goals, and also managing someone and trying to direct them in the right direction. Tell me about that balance.
I struggled with that in the beginning at first, just and it was more so I didn't want, I didn't want Luke. That's the only artist I had at the time, but I didn't want him to feel like I was making my career a priority over his. I wanted him to understand that you are a priority. You know what I'm saying? Like I am working on your behalf. And just over time, obviously us building our relationship, you know, I came to realize I had to do me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's ingrained in my DNA at this point. So it just became, first of all, I'm lucky, as far as Lou's concerned, like, I have a partner in that venture. So he was able to pick up a lot of the load, for me when I went to do the Little Brother project. But I just, like I said, I'm just now at a point where I don't write every day. I'm not physically working on songs every day. So it'll be weeks where I just work on loot stuff. Because I'm mainly, my position with him at this point is mainly A&R. I'm A&R his project. And so I'm just handling a lot of that stuff that goes along with that. And, coming in and helping him put the polish on tracks and things of that nature. So it's still creating for me. So I can easily put my stuff to the side because I'm not on no timetable. Like I can do things when I want to do it, how I want to do it. He's not on the same type of timetable. So I understand that his stuff is the priority versus mine. And once we get his stuff out the door, then I can get back to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just understanding what needs to come first at that time. And, it's an ebb and flow thing. So sometimes when he was just starting his album, we were just starting the Little Brother album. So I was able to go and do my thing and just let him kind of experiment and bounce around to figure out where he wanted to go. And then once he got to a point where it's like, okay, I got my direction, I got my zone, then I was like, all right, let me step in and really, put some things together for you and put some people in place to, make sure that you're getting exactly what you need in the things you want for your project. So it's a balance, man. It's one of the things where you gotta read the room, read the situation, and then react accordingly, pretty much.
Amen, bro. Do you feel that I was just talking to a motivational speaker and he was talking about climbing the ladder, where that itch that you have after a certain while, you've accomplished a lot of what you personally want to accomplish, even though you still got things you want to do. But, the going on tour, you know what I mean? The working with this artist, that artist, like you got that itch out of you because you were able to experience that. So it's almost like you being the rapper and you being in management doesn't clash as much because you're able to say, look, I accomplished these things already and I'm already in a good space. As in if you did this when when your first album came out as in Little Brother, it wouldn't have worked because you still had stuff that you wanted to do for yourself and managing somebody else. It would have been more tougher because you still had things you had to focus on yourself on. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've had this idea of managing and working with guys for a while, like as far back as 2011 when I was working on Dirty Pretty Things. So I knew at the time I wasn't in the mental space to take on anybody else's career to, at times put them before I would put myself. So I didn't do it. I didn't step into it. It wasn't until I felt that I had got a lot of that out of my system, that's when I decided to make that move. And like I said, I would it's not going to be a time where I don't create. That's just what's ingrained in me.
Right.
But like you said, I got a lot of that stuff out of my system already. I've got to work with some of the people I looked up to. I've got to be in the rooms with some of the biggest artists in the world. I've been on tours around the world, multiple times. I've all those different things I've done. So, now I'm a homebody. It's like,
Absolutely.
I went on tour with Loot in 2018. We was out with Loot, with Jid Nerf Gang, and we did 3 weeks the first leg. And I was, okay, all right, that was had done 3 weeks in a minute. That was rough. Then we went out for the second leg and did 6 weeks, and that's when I realized, like, yeah, 2 to 3 weeks might be my max on the road now. Whereas when I was young, I was just, hey man, I could be out here for 3 months and then it's whatever. Now, as I'm older, I'm just like, okay, I recognize that it's things that, as a younger artist, you're excited about and you can't wait to do. But as I'm older, now I know, like for Little Brother, for instance,
Right.
we put the record out, we were doing weekends, bro. Like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We home on Sunday. Like we not playing no games. Like,
yeah. So you guys would do those 3 days. You guys would do those 3 days, and then you come home. That's during the Make a Load of Watch tour.
yeah,
I feel you, brother. I feel
yeah.
you. I
We was
feel you.
home, man. People got families, got other
Amen.
responsibilities, and
Right.
it was just easier on us. Everybody involved. Plus, we all, we were all in our 40s. You know what I'm saying? Like that go out and be out 6 weeks, man. Nah, like it ain't even worth it. On the quality of life isn't the same. So, but you are right. Back to your original point. When you're older and you've experienced a lot of things and you got to check a lot of things off your bucket list, it makes it easier because you're not craving for those things. You're not striving for those things. I'm not looking to be a star at this point in my career. I put out music because I got something to say.
Yeah.
That's why I put out music, and it does what it does. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like, oh man, I need my stuff to move 1 million units. Like, I mean, if it does, awesome. I love it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's going to do what it do. So that's the big difference. Like I definitely couldn't have took this responsibility on, back when I started, when it was put into my ear back in 2011. I wasn't ready then.
Gotcha, man. So looking at it in retrospect, if you had to go back and you're talking to yourself 15 years ago, and it's just you in a conversation with yourself from 15 years ago, and it's almost like you had to manage yourself. And what advice would you now give the younger rapper Pooh when he's with Fonte? You guys are at the top of the mountain. You guys are doing your thing, and you can foresee the things that are happening that might happen, the pitfalls that you might go through with your brother or in the industry. You might see it, but the younger you might not see it at the time. What is some advice that you would give to younger rapper Pooh when you was coming up? If you could speak.
I think the main piece of advice I would give would be, it'll be two actually. It'll be communication, understanding how important communication is. Being transparent at how you feel, what your goals are, what you envision. That would definitely be important. And then financial literacy, man. Like, I grew up in a single family home. My mom, was making ends meet, working multiple jobs, 3 kids, mainly 2 by the time I was a teenager. My brother was already out the house, but, didn't really learn about money. And so when I got money, I didn't know what to do with it. I was doing dumb things with it. So it would definitely be financial literature that I'll be presenting to younger me and explaining how stocks work, explaining having multiple streams of income, explaining that, this ride that you're on as a musician, your peak is very short. the most money you're going to make is going to come in a short span of time. You got to be prepared to diversify. You have to be prepared for when you're on the other side of that mountain.
Amen.
And so those are the things I would definitely talk to younger me about. It wouldn't, the music, the development of music, nah. That happened the way it happened, how it was supposed to happen, when it was supposed to happen. But just the financial literacy and the communication part would be the two main things I would talk to younger me about.
Amen, man. So outside of music, man, what is something that you like to do for yourself that is not music related? Just like, look, man, I'm not writing a single rhyme today, or mentally, or your process. Because all of us have to get some kind of downtime. Some people are video gamers. Some people go outside. Some people just are movie guys. What do you like to do to wind down?
Sports fanatic, man. I'm a sports fanatic.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, I stick to the big three, mainly football, basketball, baseball. Do college football, college basketball. I do hockey in the postseason. Chase for the Stanley Cup.
Okay.
And that's me, man. Like I do a sports podcast with my man Big Doug, 2 to 3 times a week, where we, I got to interview some of my favorite Washington football team players from the past, Joe Theismann,
Amen,
Ken Harvey Jr., and it just learning more about that side of it. So for me, that's my escape, man. You throw a basketball game on and I'm there. Like I'm locked in. I'm locked and loaded. So that's probably my main thing, man, is that, and getting back into bike riding. I started last year, getting back into it now slowly. That's one of the things I can do. And even though I have music on, I'm not really paying attention to the music. It's just background noise. So I ain't hearing the traffic and people on the road.
Yeah, dude. I did 10 miles this morning, brother.
Yeah, man. I was up to doing 10 to 15 on the reg, 20 on a good day. And just learning how to push myself, how to, becoming mentally, stronger, and knowing how to push past my physical limit. So those are the things that I pretty much do, man. Other than that, I don't, I cook. I love cooking. So I do that, and that's about it, man.
Okay. That's a great thing, man, that you have those things to wind down, because this is a business, man. I always tell people in the wrestling industry, music industry, anything in the entertainment business, man, a lot of this is no structure, man. There's no, if you work at Walmart, you know what time you start, you know what time you leave, you know what your duties are. You might shoot for assistant manager, you might have something to shoot for. In this, a lot of times you got to be your own assistant manager, your own owner, your own everything. You know what I mean? So a lot of times you're on your own schedule, and there's not a lot of structure. So you have to create your own structure. So that downtime is very, very important. And I always tell people that, if you don't have that downtime, I thoroughly believe that burnout can happen when, like you said, it's a lack of focus sometimes.
Yep.
And that's where the burnout can come in, is not being able to take that time to step away from it. 2 more questions I want to ask you is one, man, like what is something for yourself that you haven't accomplished yet in your life, a personal goal that you want to accomplish for yourself, just for your own happiness?
I mean, for me, it's something I'm actually working on now, man. I've had some health things going on, nothing, dire. But just trying to get that right, and so I can get back to focusing on, my weight loss goal, man. I want to be healthier, smaller, healthier. And so next time people do see me on that stage, I'm in better shape than I was the last time they saw me. So that's probably the main thing for me right now, man. That's my main focus personally, is getting in better shape, better health, so I can be around for a while.
Amen, brother. I had my own issues not too long ago. A lot of us on my granddad's side, man, that high blood pressure is no joke. That high blood pressure, the what is it? I forgot the certain word. I'm not even going to say. I don't want to say the wrong word. Sleep, like sleep hypnosis. You're in the car, you go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that, man. It's crazy, man. So God bless you for taking it and taking that in the God's hands, man. A lot of us black men, man. A lot of us don't like the doctor. A lot of us don't. I still don't, but I go. And you know what I mean. And taking care of ourselves. So God bless you for doing that, man, and taking that serious one.
Thank you, man. I mean, people. I mean, please go get your checkups. Get your. A lot of things can be prevented if you just go get checked up. I just
Amen.
had. I found out that my family, my grandfather, I didn't even know what he passed from, but found out he passed from colon cancer. Found out my mom had, polyps removed that were cancerous. And, so I ended up going to get my colonoscopy and, had a precancerous polyp, that was there. But if I would have waited or if I wouldn't have done it, precancerous would have developed into cancer. And now I'm shit out of luck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't want to go get it checked on. So just things like that, man. It's important. It's a lot of preventable things that take us down because we don't want to go get checked up on. So all my brothers out there, go get checked up on. All my sisters out there, go get checked up on. It's okay. It's all right. You're gonna thank yourself. Your body's gonna thank you for it.
Amen. Amen. Last question, man. Last question for you, man. We see, things, a lot of things are changing in the world, man. Like you're a sports fanatic. You see how people like Steph Curry has changed the game in basketball. You know what I mean? You've seen people like a Drake that has done so many great things in music. And, who in your mind, like artist, musician, you could say a basketball player, Ali, Jordan, Prince, Michael Jackson. Is there any who do you feel like right now, if there's anybody that you think that has that kind of impact now to change the world? Is there anybody out there you feel that has that impact? Or do you think that the way social media and stuff is, it's kind of changed?
Man, to be honest, man, I think the people who have the biggest impact to change the world are the young people, man.
Amen.
They have the ability. I think what happened during this pandemic has opened the eyes to a lot of young people, not black people, not young black people, but young white people, young,
Yeah. Talk about
Asians,
it.
young, of all different races, but have opened up their eyes to what really been going on, to what this system really is, to how the systematic racism is baked into every fabric of our life, and
Amen.
we didn't even you may not even realize it. If you weren't black, you didn't have to realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
So just all the different things, the ills of our society, it's a microscope on them because of this pandemic, and everybody's home. Everybody was home, everybody was online, everybody was watching, everybody was looking. And so I think the young people, man, can make the biggest difference in this world, man. They could change a lot by, getting together and really demanding better, demanding more and demanding better. And that's starting to happen, in certain ways. So I think that's, I used to say this all the time, is people give a lot of credence and a lot of kudos to, these big names and, these stars and celebrities, when the people are the ones with all the power, man.
Every time.
Like you make people famous. You make people rich. Like, it's you who has the power.
Talk about it.
And I think people are finally starting to understand and see that now.
Amen, brother. Social medias, man. Tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can keep up with you, man, where they can watch the projects you have coming out. Make sure you give me a little watch that's out there right now on all digital platforms as well. I have it. I have all their catalog. So make sure you let the people know, man, where they can follow you, hit you up, anything for any business, everything's of that nature.
Yeah, man. Social media, Twitter and Facebook. Not Facebook. I don't have Facebook. Twitter and Instagram.
Don't blame me.
You can hit me up at Rapper Big Pooh. That's me. That's actually me answering. Then you can Little Brother NC. That's I think it's Little Brother underscore NC on Instagram, and then just Little Brother NC on Twitter. You can hit that up, littlebrothernc.com for all Little Brother updates. And yeah, man, you can find me there. I advertise everything there. The emails for other inquiries are in the bio of, all my social media joints. If somebody hits you up on Facebook saying they're me, they're lying. I don't have Facebook. My Facebook was hacked and I never got it back. So that isn't me on Facebook. So yeah, that's where you can find me, man. That's where I'm at pretty much.
Amen, man. Well, one man, thank you for being the inspiration to me over these years of working on my craft and being a fan of music. Still being a fan, enjoying your solo work, your group work, everything that you've done for hip hop. Thank you for being a motivation to me, honestly, because it means a lot to be able to talk to someone that has inspired me, especially when you're looking for inspiration, you barely get a chance to talk to people that inspired you. So one, thank you, man, and thank you for coming on this platform, giving us your time to tell your story, and so much more to come, man. Thank you so much for the time. Rapper Big Pooh, a legend in the game. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me, bro.
Bless, man. You have a great night.
You do the same.
Peace.